Hey guys, so I feel super compelled to make this video message today, and I don't know exactly where I'm going with it. I haven't really thought it out, but I'm really being guided to give this kind of further explanation or expand upon what I was talking about in the last few videos. So. Um, you've probably discovered through this process of being diagnosed with an invisible illness um, or having experienced great pain and trauma in your life that you are a highly sensitive person um, and an empath and or you possess abilities that it seems like quote unquote mainstream people aren't talking about or isn't a part of mainstream society. And I spoke about in the last video how that was a choice that you made prior to coming into this lifetime, that we are infinite souls having a human experience, and that you chose to have this experience, and that what comes along with all of the strange side effects is also these great gifts. And what I didn't speak about, and which I want to talk about today, is from an evolutionary standpoint, why that would be beneficial. So you um, first, when you experience pain, and it's pain without a resolution, and you have symptoms that cannot be treated, um, you begin to search alternate ways to manage those things. And you also become more empathetic to others around you. So no longer are you looking at people as separate from you. You are able to empathize with their experience. If someone else is sick, then you can empathize with that. If they're struggling, you can empathize with that. And with, certain illnesses like EDS, it comes with a vast array of symptoms that, can manifest in every organ of the body. And that gives you the ability to empathize and have compassion with so many different people that are having just specific issues. So you may be able to empathize or be compassionate with someone that has a kidney issue or a GI issue, or is, overstimulated, or has dysautonomia, or has a sports injury because your joints are dislocating. You can empathize and have compassion for a vast array of people because you are experiencing so much pain or irregularity with almost every part of your body. Um, and so that's the first part. Secondly, when you begin to lose your physical body's ability to do the things that it wants to, your ego goes very quickly. You don't really care anymore, how you're getting the help, when you're getting the help, as long as you're getting the help. And before, you may have been able to say, no, I don't need that help, or yes, I can do this on my own. So it opens you up to becoming so much more of a team player and, accepting grace from others. And this is the loss of the ego, and this is awakening. And that's the first part of it. It helps us awaken. And then when you start to lose some of these things that were obscured by the ego, that's when the things like the empathy and the compassion and the intuition, they really start to take precedence. Now, why would this be beneficial to evolution? And, I spoke about in some of the other videos that we're entering from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And with any evolution, something must die off in order for something new to be born. And when you have these symptoms where you can no longer eat the foods that are being grown because you're having mast cell reactions or sensitivities to them, it causes vast amounts of people to change the way that things are done, and not change the way that things are done through resisting it or saying it's bad, but simply because your body will no longer accept these things as nutrition and as food. So if there is, and I said in the other video too, that with every generation, it seems like the symptoms are becoming stronger. So if there are more and more children being born that cannot not tolerate certain forms of stimuli, that are communicating in different ways, whether you're talking about someone with sensory processing disorder or spectrum disorders, again, we have to become compassionate. We have to find new ways of doing things, and the old ways start to die off. So it's actually a gift. It's a gift that in the future, more and more people are going to be um, talking about energy and energetic fields and how to communicate empathically and intuitively. And even with telepathy, these are the things that we're moving towards. And because we are on the cutting edge of this, we are like the first and second generations moving towards this new way of being. It's going to be painful for us, and it's going to be hard because we are the trendsetters. But every time someone wakes up and embraces these gifts and learns that we can heal through energy, and that we can heal through love, we can heal through compassion, and we start to bring those forward as the gifts that we have to offer to society, it lights up the grid, and it becomes more and more so that is the quote unquote norm, that is the way society gravitates towards. So the more of us that are actually, diagnosed with incurable diseases that can't just take a pill and go to sleep, the more of us have to find a way to navigate in a world where things were done quite differently. So there is a reason and a purpose, and there are no mistakes, and evolution is moving towards a new way of being where we see that our true strength and our true gifts don't come from brute force, and they don't come through, willing yourself into wars and resistance and anger, and that these are lower vibrational ways of existing, and that there are other ways of existing, and these ways actually have more power and more ability to ascend and transform us than the old ways did. And so that's why you're here. You are here to be a trendsetter. You are here to break the mold. You're here because you're special, and you're here because the gifts that you possess are more powerful than anything that we've ever held to value before. So do not let someone make you feel invalidated or powerless. Empower yourself with these gifts that no one can take away from you. Your health won't take away from you. You were born the way you were born because it's who you were meant to be. And the more you embrace these gifts, and the more you realize that they have ultimate power, and that they are the things that will be valued in our future for future generations, and that we just need to let the old ways die before the new ways can be embraced. And there has to be a first, and we are that first generation. The more you'll be able to step into your power and come into union with yourself. And each one of us that does that lights up the grid of the collective consciousness. And if you think of it like, a flame, like a light, every time a light turns on, or like a power grid, every time the light turns on, we are becoming more and more and more powerful with the ways in which we're trying to live our life. It won't be done through war. It won't be done through resisting it. It won't be done through judging it. It will be done through embracing our gifts, having compassion and empathy for others, and moving into love and light. And that's how change is made. And you are on the front line. You are here to embrace these special gifts and have your children embrace them, and know that this is the direction that we're moving towards. Forget what you see. Forget what you see in the 3D reality that they want you to see, because it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction to keep you in these lower vibrational states. And people think that the enemies are you know, that it's anger and war. There are no enemies. You know, what keeps us in lower vibrational states, what keeps us disempowered, is sadness and depression and, you know, not accepting ourselves and victim mentality. This is what keeps us, you know, in these lower vibrational states where no change is happening, and it's all stagnated. And if you've been down the rabbit hole that I was in for a decade, you'll be searching for answers through, you know, modern medicine that has nothing to offer, you know. And I did that for many years, seeking out, you know, the right treatment, the right modality, the right surgery, the right something that would take me back to the physicality, which would allow me to work, you know, and slave away for people that weren't valuing my true talents. And because of this experience, I can now be grateful for all of these blocks and for the decade that I spent searching for answers in the wrong places, and know that I was just resisting who I naturally was. And that was this person that had so much more to offer than what I was giving myself credit for. So I just had to put that out there. I know that some of this, you know, might sound strange, and, you know, I'll definitely be elaborating on it more and more in these videos, but you know, Spirit's just really compelled me to put this message out there and let you guys know that it is for a purpose. It is for a reason. You are here for a reason, and embracing yourself, embracing your talents, and knowing that the pain that you've suffered does have a purpose. And none of us wants to know that our lives have been in vain or our suffering has been in vain. There has been a reason, and you are helping the evolution of all of the collective consciousness through your experience, and through the fact that, you know, through this breaking down of the ego, you are becoming more compassionate, you are becoming more loving, you are becoming, you know, more at one and at peace with where our true power resides, and that is in love. So, love, light, and blessings to all of you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you would like to exchange energy and donate to my Raise the Roof Fund, you can do that in the description down below. I hope this helps somebody out there. I really do. I just really felt like I had to get this message out here today. So, love and light to all of you. Bye-bye.